You ready, guys? Should we start? All right. Raise your hand if you do not have a block. Pause. Someone donate one of your blocks. Who needs one? Anyone tip? Does everybody have a block? Yeah, I mean, two would be nice, but you're good with one. Welcome. Good morning. My name's Devon. We are going to play, this is like a tree flow. So we're going to do a lot of hip opening, a lot of external rotation and balance. And the invitation for the practice as we work through these postures is to practice from a place of not so much doing, but more feeling and being. And so sometimes what happens is our mental patterns and frameworks can follow us onto the mat, and they're hard to detect because of the context. And so we'll work to kind of strip those out of the practice and move and let the practice unfold from awareness as opposed to these kind of sneaky mental agendas. And that's all I'll say about that. We're going to start in a belly down Shavasana. So go ahead and find a belly down shape. You can stack your hands if you want a pillow. You can go forehead down, or you can gaze left or right, really whatever feels better. Perfect, Lindsay. And then right away with your front body on the ground, just taking some big breaths. And yeah, if belly down isn't for you today, child's pose is going to be great. For those of you who aren't belly down, if you're pregnant and showing, you'll be able to join us for some of these postures. You might just have to get in a little differently, so we can work with that. Start to take some longer and deeper breaths, sending your inhales to the belly first. So deep belly breathing, signaling to the nervous system that it's time to slow down. It's time to move with more awareness, more intention. Take an inhale together through the nose. And find an open mouth, exhale, just letting everything go. Good, another time, breathing in through the nose. And an open mouth, exhale breath. Sealing your lips, starting to move the breath in and out of the nose. From your belly down shape, just lift your head a little bit. We'll take a half prone frog. Hike your right knee up towards your right shoulder. From here, you'll take your left arm and thread it underneath you, left temple to the floor. So you may be able to, if you're pregnant and showing, roll into this shape from the side as opposed to from your belly. So you can play with that if you'd like. Good. Feel that your right hip crease is heavy, so we're not pushing it down, but just invite a heaviness in the inner hip. And find another breath in here. And stay here and breathe all the way out. From here, you'll keep your body in its shape. Just take your right shoulder and drop it back so that your chest spins up to the ceiling and you're in a supine twist. If you'd like, you can take your left hand to your outer right thigh and hold on there. Just a few breaths in a supine twist. It's okay if the right shoulder isn't pushing down, but just feel heavy through the right chest. And we'll come out of this the way we went in. So just take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, right shoulder back down to the floor. Come back into your belly down shape and switch sides. So you'll hike up your left knee, thread your right arm underneath you, and drop your right temple down to the floor. And as we're starting the practice in this sort of slow way, just a really nice opportunity to observe the patterns of the mind. So if it's hard for you to slow down, just noticing that. I'll take another 2 breaths here in this shape. And just like we did on the first side, the left shoulder peels back and drops to the floor. Second side, supine twist. If you want to hold your left thigh with your right hand, you could do that. So it can be very normal for us to start this practice. Think of it as something, even a little bit, that needs to get done. Something we need to cross off the list. Something we need to do to start the day. See if you can step out of that track. If it feels challenging, just drop into your breathing. Pay closer attention to the way your body feels. And come back onto your belly, left shoulder to the floor. Now you'll push your hands into the mat and find a child's pose at the back of your space. Big toes to touch, knees spread wide. Root your forehead down, stretch your arms forward, and just take some time to nestle back into your hips. I will be wandering around and offering some hands-on assists. If for any reason you don't want me in your space, just lift a hand off of the mat. Keep it lifted for a sec so I can look around. Okay, great. If it feels good for you to rock around on your forehead along the pressure points of your forehead and hairline, you can do that here. Especially in a challenging practice or in vinyasa where we're moving a lot, it's so easy for the mind to go undetected. We get absorbed into the challenge. The mind takes it on. We're trying to move past that a little bit today. Two more breaths. And very slowly walk your hands back towards your legs. So you find yourself seated on your knees at the back of your space. Once you get there, walk your knees to touch. We're finding a toes pose here. Tuck your toes underneath you. Reach back, untuck the pinky toes as well. If you need to sit on a block between your seat and your heels, you're welcome to do that. The idea is that you can breathe wherever you do land. Tendency is to lean forward. Right? Try to keep your shoulders back, soften the gaze, maybe close the eyes. And just let the sensation and the intensity be something that pulls you right into your body, out of the mind, into the breath. Knowing that it's so temporary, can you be here more fully with the sensation and the discomfort? So we use it as an anchor, as a tether. About 5 more breaths, that's it. Take the tension out of the face. It's not gonna help. 3 more breaths. Two more breaths. Breathing in together, very soft and patient, breathing out. Shift forward, tabletop. Lightly tap the tops of your feet to the floor. And on tabletop, spread your hands out wide. Cow pose, drop your belly, lift your sitting bones, chin up to the ceiling, open your throat. As you exhale, find cat, push the floor away, chin to chest, round, and keep moving, cat-cow. Waking up to the spine, waking up to the breath-body connection, and just being extra watchful. Right? If there is a pressure to perform and a pressure to do well, and if we're viewing the practice as an accomplishment, that's mind stuff. It's not wrong, it's just that we're already really practiced in that department. So what's it going to feel like for your practice to unfold from a space of feeling and awareness? You can start making your way toward a neutral tabletop position and then find downward facing dog. Instead of going through the checklist of alignment that you maybe always do, feel your way into the pose. And breathe your way into depth. And just feel your whole awareness wrap around the shape. Take a breath in. In a full open mouth, exhale. Good. Another time, breathing in and out. So sealing your lips, but keeping the depth in through the nose. Through the nose, exhale. Look forward, gaze at your fingertips. Take little steps to the top of your yoga mat for a forward fold. That feels good for you. Feet any distance, whether it's hip width or wider than your mat. Shift your weight forward so that your toes are clawing the mat. The more that you can use gravity here to your advantage, the better. So if you lean into it, you'll feel more elongation of the spine. The head feels heavier. We can traction the cervical spine, the neck, the jaw. That's it. Take another breath in. If your hands are lifted, you can drop them down to the floor. Take a halfway lift. Hands to shins and pause. Take the rounding out of your spine. Baby bend in the knees. Wrap the back line of your body. This should feel exactly like cobra pose. Exhale, forward fold. Really good. Inhale, mountain. Come all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingers. Once you get to the top, hook your thumbs. Spread your fingers out wide. Good. And then pull the thumbs like you could pull the hands apart. And let that traction widen across the shoulder girdle and chest. Take a breath in. As you exhale, side body stretch up and over to the right. Let your hips slide left. Good. Take your right armpit, rotate it slightly forward, and then reach farther with your left hand. Exhale, deepen in. Sway back to center. Take it up and over second side. So using the leverage of the thumbs, trying to pull apart to create more space in the shoulders, more space in the chest. It's your left shoulder this time that threads through slightly. Hips over to the right wall. Final exhale. Good. Inhale through center. Separating through the hands, swan dive forward. So take it all the way down to the mat. Take your time. At the bottom, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Step your feet back and pause. High plank, we want to hug everything in, right? But the more that you soften at the joints, the easier it is sometimes to squeeze in and brace. So if you soften the bend of your knees, for example, you might be able to tilt your pubic bone towards your navel more effectively. Little bend in the elbows as well. Now take your left hand to the center of your mat. Inhale, side plank. Right arm lifts to the ceiling. So we're wrapping core engagement and support here. Notice if your right hip is spilling back. For many of you, it is. So engage your side and take your right hip so it stacks and almost leans forward. Full breath in. Good, Amber. Exhale, high plank with control. Right hand replaces the left one. Inhale, side plank. Second side, super strong, Anna. Watch out for that top hip. If you take it, that top hip, and send it forward an inch or two, You might be able to find more control and engagement through your oblique. Push the floor away. Super strong, Kristen. Take an inhale. Move slowly. Exhale, high plank. Into downward facing dog. Hips go up. One inhale together. Open mouth, exhale. Gaze forward to your fingertips. Little step or hop to the top of your yoga mat. Halfway lift as you arrive. Find the length, find the extension of your spine. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Up to standing mountain pose, lift. Hook the thumbs at the top. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Inhale, center. To the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold, arms out to the sides, take it down. Halfway lift at the bottom, inhale. Exhale, high plank. Okay, inhale, side plank, right arm up. Exhale, back to plank. Switching sides, inhale, left arm up. Good, exhale. Downward facing dog, lift your hips up to the ceiling. Nice, one more time through, gaze forward to fingers. Step hopper floats, feet to hands. Good, halfway lift. Exhale, fold your body. Up to standing, mountain pose. Last time through, Sane. Hook the thumbs. Take your side body stretch up and over to the right. Good, inhale back through center, find lift to the left, exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive forward. Just feeling it out as you lower. Inhale, halfway lift. High plank, hands down. Good. We're going to take this a little bit slower, side plank to the right and pause. So you have the opportunity for this side plank to lift your right leg to hover. Just a little or a lot. So we're lighting up the outer leg here. Flex through your right foot if it's lifted. Nice left. Good. With control, high plank. Second side. Side plank, left arm lifts with the option to float the top leg. Totally optional. Nice, Erica. That's it. With control, high plank to downward facing dog. Hips up. Breathe. 3 breaths. So there's something very different, right? Trying to accomplish or trying to succeed and perform in a shape, and then just being curious about a shape and moving into depth from this perspective of feeling more, expanding awareness further. Okay, lift your gaze. Top of your mat, however you want to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come into chair pose this time. Sit down into your heels. So feel like your heels imprint the mat. Toes are light, knees bend forward. Slide your sitting bones farther back. Take a breath. Exhale, figure 4, left ankle to right knee. Flex the left foot as you sit down. Okay. See if you can push down into that left seat. At the same time, you're reaching your sitting bones behind you so the weight stays backwards. Now soften up a little bit. Last exhale in the shape. One-legged mountain. Bring your left knee all the way up. This pose is actually really challenging, right? So see if you can find more engagement first by driving your right leg down. Sometimes what happens is we round to get the knee higher. We lean back, okay? You want to think left knee up, butt back, and chest forward, right? So it's kind of counterintuitive. Chest forward as you lift the knee higher. Really good, Lindsay. Take a breath. Exhale, standing splits. Take your time with this transition. Left leg straight behind you. Right hand to blocks, or the floor. Yeah, feel out your standing splits. For today, level hips would be the priority. It's really nice, Gabby. Take a breath. As you exhale, a nice controlled step back into your lunge. 2 or 3 breaths to settle into your lunge alignment. That means ankle, right ankle underneath. Back heel is lifted up high. Keep your back toes tucked under, crescent moon. Left knee to the floor, arms sweep up. Just open into the front line of your body. So everything is pushing towards the front of the room. That's it. Smooth out the breath. One more in. Exhale, big lift, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Sweep your fingertips back. And then just adjust a little bit. Make sure your stance feels wide enough. So there's a couple ways we could approach this posture. One is we could sink into the right hip. Okay, then we're just leaning on the ligaments. We want to actually push the right foot hard into the ground. You'll feel yourself lift up and out a little. It'll make some extra space in the right hip crease so that you can wrap it back. Breathe everything out. Warrior 2. Anchor your back heel to the floor. Today we're playing with a little bit more intentional alignment in some of these essential postures. So as you sink your right knee forward, first play with, in your Warrior 2, digging the knife edges of your feet into the floor very hard. And notice how the more you dig those in, your outer legs ignite, right? Your seat engages. Now keep that. Plug your big toe mounds down into the floor until you feel your inner thighs turn on. If you don't feel inner thighs, maybe you're not pushing hard enough. And then can you feel both at the same time? Good. Take a breath. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm, right inner thigh, left arm to the ceiling. What I see a lot here in this pose is a rainbow shape in the torso. We're actually going for a diagonal line. So these left ribs, instead of side body stretching, push them down. Compress the left ribs to the floor. This will drag the right side body longer as well. Good, Jeremiah. Super solid length, Laura. Exhale everything out. Okay, reverse warrior. So notice how the poses are unfolding. If it feels like a countdown, or if it feels like there's something you need to distract yourself with, take a breath. Hands to the floor, low lunge. Down dog kick is our release. Right leg up and back. Half pigeon, right knee, right wrist. Shin bone down. Left leg back. I'm going to recommend staying lifted unless for some reason you want to drop. Okay, if you need to drop down, if you're feeling it, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, but otherwise stay lifted and just feel the difference. Okay, as the chest stays upright, shoulders draw back. Feel into the shape of your right leg. Nice, really good alignment in the room. One more in and out. If you've lowered, come back up to your hands. You'll slide onto your right seat. Left leg comes around for separate leg stretching. Your right foot is on the sole, or the inner thigh rather, of your left leg. Turn so that your torso frames or squares to your extended leg, and then fold. So it's like you're trying to take your heart and set it on your left knee. If it's helpful, you can always grab your left foot with your right hand and pull yourself a little deeper. As much as you're focusing on the fold, okay? We also want to feel that there's a heaviness in the outer right hip, outer right leg. Two more breaths. You can start walking yourself upright. Cross your ankles. If you want to roll back, you can, but just downward facing dog. So rolling over the feet, stepping or floating back into your downward facing. Gaze forward to your fingertips. Step, hop, or float. Nice, Liz. Halfway lift as you get there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sit down into your heels. Just go right where you left off in your alignment. Yeah, Rachel. Figure four, right ankle, left knee. Find this figure four with less worry or less concern about the balance. So again, it's so easy for the mind to feel like it needs to perform, like we need to succeed at this shape. Soften out of that. Okay, one-legged mountain, right knee up. Make this extra strong. So it starts with driving your left leg into the floor. Now, as you lift right knee higher, think butt back and chest forward. Yeah, that was fun to watch. So lots of extension in the upper body. Take your time with this transition. Standing splits, right leg to the back wall, upper body folds. Blocks are great or not. Level hips and a very strong right leg. Smooth out the breath. Yeah, Alicia, stunning alignment. One more inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. With control, step it back. You've got a breath or two or three to find your lunge. Make sure it's long. Your back heel is lifted high, perpendicular to the floor. Settle your pelvis heavier towards the mat. Keep your back toes tucked, crescent moon. Yeah, Lisa, back knee to the ground, arms sweep up. Big expressive shape. It's really beautiful, Abby. Lift up and out of your waistline. Take a breath. Back toes are tucked, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Sweep back, lift your right knee and adjust. So give yourself permission to move through this sequence without having to do a good job. Exhale your breath out. Warrior two, back heel down. And settle your gaze. Remember, outer feet plug in to light up the back line. Big toe mounds dig in until inner thighs light up a little. And then just be in it. And it's okay to look for distractions. That's super normal. Let's see if you can just drop into sensation and breath. Next exhale, extended side angle, left forearm, left inner thigh. It seems natural that we would want to side body stretch and lift the right ribs, but it's the opposite movement. Compress your right ribs, close them. What will happen is both side bodies will elongate into a nice diagonal line of extension. Full breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stay low in that front knee. Big stretch up and back. Beautiful. Low lunge, hands meet the floor. Release is a down dog kick. Left leg up and back. Take your time. Half pigeon whenever you're ready for it. Left knee, left wrist. The idea is to stay lifted unless it feels more charming for you to lower, right? What we're doing is we're feeling into the left knee shape. It's very intentional that we're here this early in class. Three more breaths. Lightly onto the left seat. Separate leg stretching. Swing your right leg around so it just catches the sole of the left foot. Square your body towards your extended right leg and then fold over it like you could take your heart and drape it on your right knee. If you want, you can take your left hand and hold your foot, or the other hand, doesn't really matter. But as much as you're working on the fold, we also want to invite the left leg to be heavy. 2 breaths. Very good, Sid. Walk your hands back up. You can face the front of the room, cross your legs, however you want to get back to downward facing dog. If it's a rock, that works. Downward facing dog, find a deep breath in. We're going to keep moving. And a big breath out. Gaze goes forward to your fingertips. Step, hop, or float to the top of your space. Halfway lift as you get there. Okay, exhale, forward fold again. This time, mountain pose, big lift, stand up. Hands together in front of your heart. Root down through your right foot, tree pose. Foot can come to ankle, calf, or maybe you reach down and set it on your inner thigh. It's just really a chance for you to feel into your balance. And release. Straight into the second side. Root down through your left foot, right foot, set it wherever. And just let yourself watch kind of your relationship to this pose and balance. Right? If there is concern about balance and falling out, that is the mind all the way. Okay, release. 2 feet down. Inhale, mountain pose, big lift up. And exhale, forward fold. Take it down. Little different, halfway lift. Tuck and curl, ball pose. Lift your heels high. Do your best to sit on your heels. Now, you can stay here, okay? Otherwise, we're working to lift through the spine. As you lift upright, squeeze your knees together, hands to heart. So it's basically toes pose, but now you're balancing. Knees squeeze harder together. Lift up, shoulders right back over your waistline. Okay, and stop trying to perform. Just feel into the balance, the challenge of it. One more inhale. And exhale, hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. Step your feet back. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. This is different. Figure 4, down dog. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Push into your hands. Little baby bend in the left knee. Watch out that it's not locking. Push harder through your palm. Breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high, down dog kick. Exhale, low lunge, step your foot forward. Keep your back toes tucked. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Pick up your back knee. Strong connection through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Left knee drives up. Good job. Exhale, figure 4. Left ankle over, right knee. Sit down. We've got some options. Okay, so you could stay with a hot tree, or a regular tree rather. You gave it away. Or you can take your left foot, slide it up your right thigh. Knife edge of the foot comes to your right hip crease. Your right hand can just hang out and hold it there. Left hand to heart. Point your left knee to the floor. If this is not so great for the knee, no big deal at all. Regular tree, just as good. Feel it out. Soften the muscles of the face and smooth out your breath. Last exhale. With control, one-legged mountain, arms up. And exhale, bind your hands to your low back. You can always grab for opposite elbows. Inhale, open the chest. As you exhale, toppling tree. Left toes point back. Upper body folds to your standing leg. It's standing splits with a bind. That's all. As your bind goes up and over, reach your face to your right shin bone. You're here for 3. Toppling forward into the toes. You got this for 2. And exhale, hands touch down with control, low lunge. Inhale, warrior 2, back heel down, open up. Exhale, find your feet. Just the arms. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, bind your hands again at your low back. Find your feet the way we talked about. Inhale, open the chest. Ostrich pose. Legs stay. Fold to the center. So it's not folding to the right leg. It's folding to the center of your legs, just like a wide-legged forward fold. Should feel pretty weird. And as you fold the upper body, you're wedging your right knee a little more open. That's it, Dana. Full breath. Hands drop down. Skandasana, bend your left knee, right leg straighten. Sit back into the deep squat of your left thigh, left knee. Long spine, take a breath. Exhale, pivot forward, low lunge, facing the front of your space. Down dog kick, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Figure 4, down dog. Now hold it here. You have the option to push into your right hand, and using your left hand, drag your right foot up into the hip crease, hot tree, or figure 4 legs, doesn't matter. Come forward with your leg variation into a high plank. Right arm up, side plank with a tree leg of some kind. Yeah, it's fine. You're facing different directions. It's all good. Just remember what side you're on now and switch it later. Take a breath and release. Downward facing dog. Nicely done. Big inhale through the nose. Cleansing open mouth. Exhale. Left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high. Good, Ashley. Do knee to nose again. Figure 4, down dog. Cross your left ankle over your right knee and pause. That extra pressure can make the right knee lock. So bend it a little bit. Push harder into your palms. Take a breath. Good. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high. Low lunge. Step your foot forward. Keep your back toes tucked. Inhale, crescent moon. Torso lifts, back knee down. Crescent lunge, airplane arms, sweep back. Strong left foot on your time. One-legged mountain. Go ahead, launch. Exhale, figure 4. So you could choose to take a classic tree, or you can use your hands to scoop up your right foot, bring it up your thigh into your left hip crease. Love the focus, Rachel. Maybe you're holding the foot with your left hand, right hand to heart, or hot tree. And we can acknowledge that the mind wants us to do a good job. It's okay. It's just not really what we're after right now. With control, right knee lifts, arms to the ceiling, and then bind your hands together, either reverse ragdoll or a fist. Open the chest, take a breath, and exhale, toppling tree. Don't let this pose be defined by a fear of falling out. Right? Don't limit yourself by feeling like you have to hold the balance or you have to fit a mold in order for it to be yoga or be the pose. It's not like that. Okay, one more inhale. Hands drop down. Then with control, step back, low lunge. You got it. Warrior 2, back heel down, open, settle in on the exhale breath. Yes, Celeste. Just the arms. Inhale big, reach up. Exhale, bind your arms. Dial in your warrior two legs. Your torso stays square. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold straight between the legs, as though you were taking a prasarita with the legs straight. At some point, you're going to run into this weird tug-of-war kind of feeling between that front knee wanting to cave and your torso wanting to fold. That's the idea. About 2 or 3 breaths. Hands drop down. Skandasana, bend your right knee, straighten the left leg. Squat onto your right heel. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, turn to the front. Low lunge. Down dog kick. Inhale, left leg goes back. You got it. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold it. Figure 4 down dog. Left ankle to right knee. Now, if you want to, push into your left hand. Use your right hand to slide your left foot up into the hip crease. And then maybe with either your hot tree or figure 4 legs, left arm up for the side plank. So your tree leg is on top. It can be on the bottom. It's just going to be a lot harder. You're here for 3. Hips high 2. You got it, guys. So nice. Release. Downward facing dog. Stay and breathe. 3 breaths. Gaze goes forward. We're almost there. Step, hop, or float. Feet to hands. Top of your space. Make sure you have 1 or 2 blocks at the top of your yoga mat. Take a halfway lift. Pause. Reset your spine. Right? Lengthen it. Take 1 breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Let it all go. So grab your breath and grab your focus and everything you need. We've got 1 more balancing posture. That's it. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, figure 4. Let's go left ankle, right knee. I'm going to mess up your balance. Sorry. From here, lots and lots of options. If this hot tree stuff is not for you, you stay in figure 4. Otherwise, hot tree. Okay, I'm going to offer this in a lot of layers. Okay, from here, it's a fold forward. So you're either folding over figure 4 legs or hot tree legs. Your pick. Or you're standing, okay, or you're sitting. You can stay exactly here. This is a really deep hip opener, and I like it. So you can stay here. Otherwise, we're moving towards a toe stand. And this is where the block comes in handy. You can use one or both for support as you lower onto your right heel. It's a deep squat. You have to work your right heel into your root for balance. Okay, and then from here, upright spine. Tell yourself you can do it and play with one hand off, maybe the other, maybe both. One more breath. These are beautiful. Hands to blocks. Now this is important. Go slow. 1 layer at a time. We come out the way we came in. So back up into figure 4 or back into hot tree. 2 feet down. Nicely done. Take your right or left toes, tuck them, and then just windshield wiper the knee in and out or shake out the leg. Switch. Inhale, chair. Right ankle, left knee. Scoop up your foot and bring it all the way into your hip crease. Maybe. All variations are great. We're folding over hot tree legs or figure 4 legs, maybe. Pause. And then move forward into toe stand if that's where you're going today. Nice work. Play with it. 3. Nice focus in the room. 2. Yeah, Jeremiah, amazing. Hands to blocks to the floor. Slowly lift up. One phase at a time. We come out. Land the feet. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands together in front of your chest. Close the eyes. Sealing in our standing practice right here. So gaze down, close your eyes, whichever. Take a full breath in. And a big exhale. Mountain pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Tuck and curl. Lower down to your seat. We're going to spend a couple postures in internal rotation with our thigh bones to counter. So starting with a half hero's pose. So from your seat, take your right knee and bend it back. If this doesn't feel good for any reason, my recommendation would be for you to sit on a block or 2 blocks and just hang out here, compressing the knees, okay? So if where we're going in half heroes isn't for you, just hang out here and enjoy, okay? Half heroes, you can stay here upright, okay? Especially if the knee is feeling a little tight. Otherwise, just a moment to fold. Could be a little or a lot. And this is just about countering, okay? Try to go where your body wants you to go. At least make sure you're asking that question. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Sit back upright, and then you can either stay here and work on a straight spine or lower down onto your forearms just for a few breaths. Okay, so you can come onto the forearms, point your right knee forward, curl your pelvis under you a little bit. Just enjoy the stretch. And come back up. We'll switch sides. Right leg goes out straight, left leg in a half hero's pose. Sit upright. Right thigh bone is directly out of the hip, and then maybe you fold a little bit. So it's very, very easy for us to get into a familiarity mode in our yoga practice. It kind of happens almost naturally, especially as we return to the mats. Okay, take a breath. And slowly sit back up. If you reclined, go for it on the second side. Okay, the idea is that the mind is really sneaky and it really wants to protect us. So sometimes it's running its programs below our level of awareness or above. Take a breath. Make your way up. So we'll all meet seated. Legs out in front, grab a block and lower onto your back. For supported legs up the wall. We'll take this block at the lowest height, set it underneath your sacrum, legs go up to the ceiling. So your thighs will spill back at you a little bit, toes straight up, arms wherever they want to go. We've done a lot on the legs, so just letting them restore. Okay, so the question is that if the mind is running some programs in our blind spot, how do we find that? How do we shine a light on it? And the key is through the body and through the breath and also through awareness. So these different dimensions being exactly what we're working with in this practice. A lot of times it does involve stepping into discomfort, letting go of our attachment to perform and to succeed, to do well. You can bend your knees and take your feet to the floor. We're going to take some time and fall in bridge. So remove your block, set it aside, walk your feet as wide as your mat, and then knock your knees together. So we're back in internal rotation, just inviting the pelvis to neutralize, to reset, countering all of the hip opening that we did. If you haven't closed your eyes yet, you can close them. Lightly separate your knees. Very simply, send your legs straight forward into your final resting pose. We've got some time to be here, so just do a little scan of your body and see what it is that you need to feel comfortable. We all have just a bit of a different relationship to stillness. Let's see if for the next bit of time you can just kind of take your hands off the wheel and let stillness and being take over. And so the mind has its preferences, its discomforts, its desires, but set all that aside for a little while. without moving your body. Just stay for a little bit of time and observe with more awareness and more clarity what it's like to be still, what it feels like to be calm and quiet. Recognizing that even if it feels different in the mind, or if the mind says otherwise, there's a productivity in stillness, and oftentimes more so than in action and in doing. If you feel like you're in the middle of something, you can just stay. So the space is all yours. It's important to honor what you need. And if you feel ready to reawaken, you can find some deeper breaths and some unrushed movements. You might choose to take a full body stretch or to roll over to one side. If you like transitioning through fetal position, we'll take a couple moments here. And using your hands to press yourself up into a seat if you'd like that, facing the front of the room. And finding your seat, be intentional. Just about your sitting bones, feeling rooted, feeling connected so that your spine can fully lift and extend. Feel a upward tug at the top of your head, and your chin will tuck just slightly toward your throat. You can take your hands together in front of your heart and find a gentle breath in. And a slow exhale. Good. Another time, breathing in and breathing out. So a moment of reverence for the land and the people, the culture where this practice and these teachings came from. And a moment to acknowledge yourself for choosing to spend your time, your energy, and your resource in this way. Thumbs to the center of your forehead, bowing to the earth in love and in gratitude. Thank you.